These alfalfa microgreens are both fast and easy to grow, and they pack some great nutritional value as well. Hello everyone! If you're new to growing microgreens, then welcome aboard. Microgreens are leafy green baby plants that have just passed out of the sprouting stage. There are some major differences between sprouts and microgreens. First of all, with sprouts you typically eat the whole plant, including the root portion, if you can call them roots. However, microgreens are cut at the stem just above the soil level, so you don't eat the roots, which at this point are more developed than at the sprouting stage. Another difference, sprouts are always grown in water, never in soil. It would be too hard to clean the soil off of the sprouts. Microgreens can be grown in many ways, hydroponically or in soil, and they have more developed leaves and stems. They also have up to 40 times the amount of nutrients than the fully developed plant. In this recent study published in Food Research International, the authors published this nutritional table for some of the more commonly grown commercial microgreens. And in this graphic, they illustrate the benefits of eating microgreens. There are numerous such studies. Here is another in the Journal of Future Foods, and this one in Food Chemistry. The studies are quite sophisticated. This one shows a one-way analysis of variance to determine the nutritional differences between the microgreen, seedling, and mature stages of a plant. So what about the nutritional value of alfalfa microgreens? In a more layman-friendly article that I found at webmd.com, they claim that alfalfa sprouts contain copper, folate, iron, magnesium, manganese, and vitamins B1, B2, C, and K, as well as some other beneficial compounds. Besides the vitamins, there are some additional health benefits to eating alfalfa. According to WebMD, alfalfa can help control blood sugar levels because it's a fiber-rich food, and it contains plant compounds that can help lower the absorption of cholesterol in the intestines. Also, alfalfa contains vitamin K, which can help people with anemia. But on the flip side, if you're taking a blood-thinning medication, you might want to avoid eating alfalfa sprouts or alfalfa microgreens. And let me give you just one more source, the United States Department of Agriculture. Here you can see their breakdown for a 1 cup measurement of sprouted alfalfa. In general, microgreens are considered to have high nutritional value, and they really are so easy to grow, so let's get started. First you need seeds, of course. I got these seeds from Todd's Seed Company. A 1 pound bag will last a long time, and it's only $7.86 on their website. If you'd rather buy organic seeds, then check out True Leaf. They sell the handy pantry brand for $13.48 for a 1 pound bag. And on Amazon, you can find another organic brand, Nature Gyms, for $18 a pound. I know that might sound like a lot, but you get many harvests from a 1 pound bag. It will last a really long time, and if you compare it with what you buy in the supermarket, even the most expensive bag of seeds is cheaper. And of course it's fresher if you grow it yourself. So now that we have the seeds, we need a tray to grow the microgreens in and some sort of medium to use. I'll be using soil in this demonstration, but you can use coconut coir, or sometimes it's called coco peat, or even paper towels or cheesecloth. Some people use hemp mats. It doesn't matter. These microgreens are not picky about what they're growing in or on. So here I have 10-inch by 10-inch trays. This tray with the soil in it has drainage holes, and I nested into a tray without drainage holes to catch the water. I got these on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description box below this video if you want to have a closer look. As you can see, I'm using soil to grow the microgreens in this time. Many times I use coconut coir. Either way, you will be happy with the results. Some people use a hemp mat, but as you can see, that can be very expensive. Get a bag of potting soil or coconut coir and you won't be disappointed. If you do use coconut coir, then you will have to feed your microgreens with a nutrient solution on the 4th day or so, since coconut coir or peat doesn't have any nutrients in it, Potting soil does, so if you're a beginner, that's the easiest way to go. Fill your 10 by 10 tray about half to 3/4 full, or you can fill it to the top of the tray if you want to be able to cut the microgreens more easily at the soil level. But I don't like to use so much soil, so I fill it about halfway up the tray. Okay, now that we have the trays filled with soil, it's time to sprinkle on the seeds. Let's call this day 0, the day we start the process. I find 1 tablespoon of seeds gives me the perfect coverage for this size tray. Now, you might be wondering if you should soak the seeds. I find that when I soak the seeds, they clump together and are harder to distribute evenly over the soil. I also don't find it matters for smaller, softer seeds like alfalfa. It does matter for bigger seeds and seeds with tougher hulls, but not alfalfa. So I measured out a tablespoon of seeds, and then I used my handy dandy X-Spice shaker. I think this had oregano in it once upon a time. This helps me to shake the seeds out more evenly, although it's not that easy to get small seeds distributed evenly. I know it doesn't look so even, but you'll see these seeds will grow into microgreens in spite of anything I do. They just know how to grow themselves. Really, I think these are the easiest microgreens to grow. Now, this is important. I never cover the seeds with another layer of soil. So they just sit on top of the soil like this, and once they germinate, the roots will find their way down into the soil. But this way, when the seeds are growing, they don't push up against the soil and the plant stays cleaner that way. Next, I give the seeds a good spray of water. Remember, I didn't soak these, so they need a good drink. And then I put a tray on top of them to block out the light for the first couple of days. Here it is the very next day, 24 hours after I planted these. So let's call this day 1. And you can see most of the seeds have little tails, so they've sprouted. Now it's day 2 and we have lots of growth here. Now you can see why we keep these covered. That encourages the microgreens to grow taller and leggier as they're looking around for a light source. Usually when you grow plants to maturity, you don't want them to grow tall and leggy. That makes them have weaker stems. But microgreens don't need to be short and stout. We actually like them tall and leggy. So keep them covered until they start to put out some leaves. Usually around day 4 for most microgreens, but for alfalfa, it could be day 3. And then when you start to see some leaves, you should uncover them. Now it's day 4 and you can see some leaves starting to emerge, so I'm going to keep these uncovered so they can get some light. If you're growing using coconut coir, then at this point you'll want to use some nutrients when you're watering the coconut coir. Speaking of watering, I feel the soil, and if it feels moist, then leave it alone. I only water it when it starts to feel like it's drying out, and that will depend on your environment. If your air is dry, then the soil will dry out more quickly, but if you have a humid environment, then the soil will stay moist longer. For nutrients, when I'm growing in coconut coir, I use the Grow Big formula from Fox Farms. You just follow the easy directions, 2 teaspoons into a gallon of water, and shake. Here it is the very next day, day 5, and look at how green these guys are now that they've been exposed to sunlight. I actually have these under a grow light, but you can put them near a sunny window and they'll be just as happy. And now it's day 6. Remember, I started counting the first day as day 0. And now here we are, day 7, and what a difference a day makes. You can harvest these now if you want to, or wait for them to grow a bit bigger. Or you can harvest as you need them, snip a little now to use, and then tomorrow snip some more, and the next day as you use it. It'll stay fresher while they're still growing in the soil, so think about harvesting only what you need and letting the rest grow. You'll notice the taste changing as the microgreens grow. The taste is milder and the leaves more tender at the younger stages. If you let these grow longer, that's fine. Here you can see the alfalfa on day 10. The leaves are bigger and they still taste great. It's really up to you when you want to harvest these. Here you can see the bottom drainage tray where the excess water drips off into, and some of the roots will start to grow down into the tray the longer I keep these. And now it's the next day, day 11, and I'm going to let these grow a bit more since I have other microgreens growing and I'm not ready to eat these yet. Today is day 12 and these have been growing quite nicely. I think I'll harvest these tomorrow. Okay, it's day 13 and these are well overdue to harvest, in my opinion, but still they will be delicious. You can see more of the hulls have fallen off by now, so that's a good reason to wait a couple more days to harvest these. Or if you have other microgreens growing and you don't need these yet, then it's fine to let them keep growing. Remember, you can eat these as sprouts, so you can really eat them anytime you want to. They will just keep getting bigger. But as long as they're still microgreens, they're still good to eat. Please give these microgreens a try. You won't be disappointed with how easily they grow. And also harvest them and taste them day by day to see how you like them. You can eat them with the hulls or rinse those off. If they bother you, I find that if you brush the tops of the microgreens when they start to leaf up, it loosens the hulls and they fall off more easily. If you swish them around in water and then spin them in a salad spinner, it also loosens the hulls. But the hulls are perfectly edible, so go ahead and plant some microgreens today. Another very fast and easy microgreen to grow is radishes, and they're really very tasty in a salad. If you're a beginner and looking for easy microgreens to grow, then my top 5 microgreens are alfalfa, radish, broccoli, kale, and mustard. These are, in my opinion, the quickest, easiest, and tastiest to grow. I hope you give them all a try. Thanks for watching. Bye.